Welcome, welcome. Our last week on the strength practice, although I'm sure we will continue to build as it is a very important aspect of yoga, the inner strength, where we get to it via the physical strength. And most important, what I want to touch on before we flow, because today will be much more of a vinyasa flow without the workshop breaks. So just remember that your breath matters more than anything. Keeping that calm, deep breath throughout the difficult moments, that is where the magic of yoga comes from and where we get into that parasympathetic, which is de-stressing our system. So if you feel that you're storing stress, you have anxiety, you feel a little bit depressed, whatever, when we come into that deep breath, it sends a signal to the brain that says, oh, I'm safe, I can relax. This is hard and I can stay relaxed. So that when we go outside of our practice, and we encounter something that is challenging or difficult or upsetting, your brain, you can just do a deep breath and your brain says, oh yeah, I'm safe. I can relax. I'm okay. So it's very, very beneficial for the breath. So keep that in mind as we practice. So for today's practice, you'll need 2 blocks that we'll put at the top of the mat, and we'll use them for some forward fold situations where it will be something like this. However, if you don't have blocks, you can always use a chair or something nearby, so they're not mandatory, but if you have them, get them out and we will start practicing. All right, welcome. My name is Melissa. If you haven't practiced with me, welcome to my little home studio. So we're going to start with our feet hip-width apart on your butt, knees bent. Either grab onto the backs of your knees if it's too much, or arms straight up. Now, see if you can lift your chest while at the same time focusing on the ribs and hip points, kind of pulling a little bit together. So we're getting into that core. So we have that strengthening through the core. You can even draw your lower belly in towards your spine. Take a deep breath and puff up through the heart. Exhale, squeeze through the core, slow motion, roll all the way down. Remember, you can have your hands on the backs of your thighs if you want, either way. And then once you're down, if you have your hair up and it's kind of in the way, I recommend head flat. So remove whatever you need to make sure that your head is flat. Feet wide, knees together. Relax. Take a moment to just be on your mat. Arms either wherever's comfortable or straight up. Cross over like you're giving yourself a hug, which is nice and calming for the nervous system if you can do it in a relaxed way. And then breathe. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Soften around the jaw, the back of your head and neck, shoulders. Take a really full breath in, full breath out. Feel what your spine feels like pressing into the mat. And of course, that doesn't necessarily mean you need to tuck your chin and try to press through the back of your neck. We have our natural curves where it's lifted a little in the neck, and then you'll feel it heavy through the shoulders, and then maybe a little bit lighter in the low back, and then tailbone presses. So just kind of notice, or not even your tailbone, but your sacrum, actually, that big, large triangle bone in the back of your butt. Just feel that press down. Relax around the jaw. Take a full breath in. Open up your mouth or some kind of deep, relaxing breath out. So our strength practice, which I just got to practice being non-reactive. Strength practice is to build up that breath as we go through challenging practices, moments, poses, so that when we get out of the mat, and we're in our regular life, you can bring your knees into your chest, rock side to side. And we start to see how the practice here relates outward. And the thing that I just got to practice being non-reactive to was going through this whole class and then seeing that my camera was not recording. So this is my second round today. So if I'm really wobbly, you know why. Although I was wobbly the first round, so this will be interesting. All right, so tailbone represses down. And I keep saying tailbone, but really I mean that sacrum, that big triangle block in, you can feel it in your butt. Now, spread your toes wide and press the sides of your big toe mounds together and press the heels up towards the sky. So we flex our feet, we press our feet together to feel that inner thigh hook in. And then arms just relax for now. Press your feet up and draw the lower belly into the spine. Now, if you can imagine even your lower belly, if you had your thumbs underneath your belly button and your hands in kind of a triangle, if you could imagine that part of your abdominals cinching or squeezing in, kind of like you're wearing this tight corset and you pulled the strings and it just went whoop, cinching that in. And this helps us engage the transverse abdominis, which is like a natural corset, actually. I want to talk about corsets because it's a natural corset for your low back to keep it straight and protected more than straight. So press the sides of your big toe mounds together, feet up. Breathe. We relax the jaw, even if we start to notice it's working our legs. Got to get a quick stretch in. Good. Said that to myself. All right. And hands wherever you want for comfort right now. I don't know why mine want to be up in the air, but they do. So feet pressed strong in towards one another. We can start to feel it in the inner thighs, belly to the floor. Kneecaps are going to start to pull down towards our hips. So we engage through the legs and we breathe. Just feel this engagement and breathe. If it's too much, we can bend the knees, even bring our shin bones parallel with the floor, and then our feet are pressing a little bit out as they press in. Breathe. Either way, breathe. Now take your hands and interlace behind your head. Now fingers are interlaced, elbows are spread wide. Feet are still up towards the sky. Inhale, curl your chest up and open up the elbows wide. Take a really deep breath in. And as you exhale, draw the right knee into your chest. Stage 1, we're going to keep the left foot straight up. Stage 2 can hover at about halfway, or really anywhere in here where you start to feel that's enough for you, almost all the way to hovering off the ground. You can see my toes spread wide. My foot is reaching out in front as much as this knee pulls into my chest. And that reaching, we're getting that engagement in the leg. We're reaching this knee in and start to really squeeze through the core. Now add to that by curling up the shoulders. Take your right knee and your left elbow and squeeze in towards one another. So the real magic happens when you can squeeze as much as you could imagine. Squeeze this elbow and knee towards one another. It should feel so, I don't want to say intense, but it should be a lot of sensations. Squeeze. Inhale, come back up through center. So all that squeezing is happening on one slow exhale. Go ahead and switch. Exhale. Knee and elbow towards one another. And this right leg, you're gauging, is it straight up still? Is it a little bit? Or is it out in front? Squeeze. Elbow and knee squeeze together like never before. Breath in comes on up. Exhale, squeeze to the other side. Inhale, back through center. Check your low back feels okay. You can even lift up the tailbone, the sacrum for a bit. Take that breath in, open up the elbows wide. Breath to reset. I just noticed I needed. If you're switching, switch. When you're ready, switch to the other side. Elbow and knee press together. Inhale, back through center. Big toes press. Exhale, switch. Slow exhale as you squeeze together. Deep breath in as you open up wide. Exhale, switch. 2 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, switch and squeeze. Remember, it really comes down to how much can you squeeze that elbow and knee. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, switch. Inhale up. Exhale, knees to chest. Rock and roll side to side. I'm ready for the Shavasana now. This will be really fun for me though. I started to get a little bit sad it didn't record, and then I realized why. What will that help? And now I'm fine and feel like it's meant to be, because this one might be better. So side to side, then forward and back. I'm going to rock and roll your way all the way up and over to tabletop. When you're ready, press your palms down and step back to your tabletop, where we'll go through a couple cat and cows to stretch out the abdominals and the front body. So breath in, lifts up through the head, chest, tailbone. I keep saying tailbone. I guess it is your butt bones this time. And on the exhale, now we actually do use the tailbone and curl underneath to round through the spine. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift up. One more, exhale, round. Tuck your toes. Keep your knees hip-width apart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sit your butt back to child's pose with your toes tucked. Extend your arms out in front. Rest your forehead down just for a moment. Take one deep breath in. Deep breath out. And now scooping the tailbone, kind of like you're trying to draw it towards the back of your knees. See what that already starts to lift your spine all the way back up, and then shift downward dog. Fingers widespread. Heels reach for the floor. On an inhale, pull forward to your high push-up. You may remember this from the 20-minute creative one if you got to practice. If not, no worries. Send your heels to the right. Press your right heel down. Keep the left one in the air. And then press your hips back and off to the right as much as you can manage, keeping your left hand down so we get that side body, waist, and hip stretch. Take a full breath in where you are. Full breath out. Use your inhale to press through your toes. Squeeze your abdominals around, forward high push-up. Exhale, send your heels to the left. Left foot plants down. Right heel's up in the air. And then press the hips back and off to the right, left now, as your right hand presses down to get that side body stretch. Press through both feet, round, forward, high push-up. On your exhale, with control over everything to the ground in one line. Tops of your feet press down. Inhale, curl up, lift your chest. On your exhale, tuck your toes, lift up, high push-up. Exhale, child's pose on your toes, and then curl the tailbone under. Feel what you feel in your core. An automatic lift up, round forward. Downward dog. If it doesn't feel automatic, that's okay. Remember, the more we come into our body, the more we practice, the more it will. Full breath in and out to reset. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, round forward, high push-up. Keep the round in your spine. Lower the heels to the right. Keep the left heel up in the air as you send your hips back and over. Press through the left hand, even maybe fingertips, to get that stretch. Inhale, round forward, high push-up. Exhale, heels to the left this time. Right heel lifts up. Maybe come up on right fingertips or press the palm down. Stretch the side body. Breathe. Inhale, round forward. Straighten everything out. Lower down, low push-up, all the way to the ground. Tops of your feet press down, really firm. Breath in, curls your upper body up, baby cobra. Exhale, go back down. Press up, high push up on your knees. Exhale, child's pose on your toes. Inhale, tailbone tucks, round forward. Downward dog. Breath in and out to reset. Full breath in. Full breath out. Left foot presses strong. Stretch the right foot high. Exhale, look forward. Step the foot between your hands. Lower your back knee to the floor. Hands on blocks if you have them, otherwise just around your front foot. As you lift up through the chest, soften the left heel down and forward so we get that stretch. Take another really deep breath in. Deep breath out. Once more, breathe in where you are. Breathe out. And then to practice our high lunge, tuck the back toe, press through the blocks or the ground, and hover the back knee up. Squeeze both legs really strong. Draw your heart forward, forward, forward. Keep this, and then inhale, reach your arms all the way up above. Exhale, soften the hips down. Take one more breath in, reach up. Don't worry so much about alignment, just kind of feel what you feel. For now, we'll set up alignment when we come back to it. Step the right foot back, knees up or down, lower down, low push up. Upward facing dog. On your exhale, downward facing dog. The right foot presses strong. The inhale floats the left leg high. The exhale steps the foot between your hands. Lower the back knee down. Your next breath in is going to lift up through the heart, crown of the head. Headphones keep falling out. I hope that you can hear me. I need to get one of the real microphones. Breathe. Take one more really deep breath in and out. Hands around the front foot. Step back and to your high push-up. On your exhale, lower down, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. I keep laughing because I'm laughing at myself that it was not recording. It's so sad. Except it's not sad. I don't feel sad. It's just humorous. Take one more really deep breath in. Deep breath out. Press through the left foot. On an inhale, stretch the right toes high. On an exhale, step the foot forward. All the way up for high lunge this time. Press strong through both feet. Now let's set up our alignment. Our hips face forward, chest face forward, arms reach up, shoulders, hips soften a little. So we sink in and we feel that stretch. As much as we're softening, we're receiving, we're allowing, we're also building that strength, that mental toughness. I don't know if tough is the right word, but that strength, stability, stamina. Heart lifts, crown of the head lift, arms lift, shoulders relax. Take a really deep breath in, deep breath out. On an exhale, hands to heart center. Check this front knee, tracks forward, heart lifts up, and on an exhale, just twist open, thinking about the inhale lifts up through the spine, exhale, we get a little bit of that core, that transverse abdominis cinch, and then twist open, right arm to the back, left arm forward. Then sink the hips down and breathe. Stay for 2 more deep breaths. Squeeze a little through that back leg, but mostly see if you can bend into the front knee as you lift through the heart. One more really deep breath in. Exhale. If you're familiar and you prefer elbows together, hook that elbow on the outside of that thigh, rotate that shoulder up. Or if you're new, or even if you're not, I still recommend hand to the floor, not all the time, but for this one. And then right knee goes forward, left arm goes up. And the reason for this is we can really sink that right knee forward, squeeze through the back leg, and when we rotate that top arm up, we have a little bit more range of motion in our twist so that we can stretch out our right bum, which will be important for another pose later on today. Breathe. Both are good. Elbows twisting or hand down, whichever one you're more drawn to, do. But definitely don't feel like this is the lesser option. They're both great. Take one more really deep breath in. Exhale, hands down. Whew. Step that foot back. I'm feeling the second class. Pull forward. Lower down, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in, full breath out to reset. And press strong through the right foot. So the left leg high. On the exhale, step the foot forward. Come on up. High lunge. Reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, soften. Hips, shoulders relaxed. Jaw is relaxed. Lift up through the heart. Send that left knee forward. Breathe. 2 more breaths. On an exhale, your next breath out, hands to heart. Lift up. Chest, head lift up. Exhale, twist over to the left. Careful not to twist into the low back. Remember, we're lifting up. Twisting from that shoulder, keeping the core strong. Now left arm reaches to the back. Front arm reaches forward. Breathe. Check that front knee's going straight forward over the toes. Squeeze the back leg strong and breathe, breathe, breathe. 3 more breaths. Keep your breath slow as you can manage. And the mind as calm as you can manage. And if it's not calm, that's no problem. Just come back to the breath again and again. Hands can come together. Twist with the elbow on the outside. Woo, that gets a good butt stretch too. Or right hand down. Check that knee, pulls forward. Squeeze the back leg even more. Reach up to the top. Now, remember, this is a little bit easier to get into that stretch because now we have more space. We can rotate that top shoulder open without compression. And then as we send that knee forward and rotate, you'll feel that stretch along the hip and butt. Take another really deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more breath in. Exhale, look down, plant the palm, step back, high push-up. You can shift straight to downward dog, take a break in child's pose, or when you're ready, pull forward, lower down, low push-up, upward facing dog, and downward dog, or child's pose, or hips to your heels just for a moment to recenter. So as we go through again, we'll build on. This break gives your body a little chance to calibrate that twist in all that we've done. To integrate, not calibrate. Do the calibrating in the pose and then integrate it in the break. Stay longer if you need. Setting up your hands, fingers spread wide, shoulder width apart. Use an inhale to recenter and table. Exhale, downward dog. Feel your heels lower towards the ground. Your butt bones tilt up and back. Core draws in. Press strong through the left foot. Use an inhale, stretch the right leg high. Exhale, step the foot forward. High lunge. I just noticed my headphones keep falling out because of when I laugh, my ears move. This is not good because I want to have fun in yoga. Definitely have to look into new headphones or some kind of microphone. High lunge. Arms reach up. On the exhale, turn the right arm back. Now I'm not going to be able to stop laughing. Take a deep breath in, lift up through the heart. Exhale, squeeze that right shoulder back open. Check that left knee is tracking forward. Mine's tired, so it keeps trying to back out. Now hook the elbows or left hand down. Same place you've been before. Reach the top arm up. Just one deep breath in here. Exhale, hands down. Lower your back foot flat. Bend into both knees. Warrior two. Press through both feet. Maybe even hug them towards one another. Arms reach front and back. Breathe. Soften around the shoulders. Take one more full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Walk your back foot in a couple inches. And so your stance a bit shorter. Now sink your hips to the back. So you can bring that spine straight out over the front thigh. Right hand, either your shin, your foot, or a block right on the outside. Normally it doesn't matter. And even for today, do what feels best for your body. But the block on the outside may help for where we're going later on in class. Top arm reaches up. Press strong through the bottom foot. Reach up through the top arm. Now feel what you feel in your body and breathe. Even if it's triangle and you've been coming here again and again and again and again. I know some of you are very seasoned yogis. So after a while, and if you're new, here's some hope. One day, triangle will feel like a rest pose almost, but it shouldn't. So see if you can still keep incorporating, where can I feel? Where can I squeeze through my legs? Where can I press more through that back foot? Where can I draw my belly in, draw my heart so much forward as I rotate that top shoulder open, I feel it stretching more in my back. So there's always somewhere to work in each pose. That's why I had to take a breath. People think that you need to be flexible for yoga, but you really don't. And actually, if you have less flexibility, you get so much more out of each pose. There's a lot of places to feel it, which is why we're here. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Look down. Now both blocks, if you have them. If not, remember, if you got a chair nearby, you're going to have it in front of you. Walk the back foot in a little. Bend into the front leg and kind of just a supported warrior 3. Hands on the blocks for support. Both hips face down. Squared off. Lift the left toes up. Heart pulls forward. Squeeze through the back leg, maybe a slight bend in your standing leg. Now, draw the belly to the spine. And if you can, start to scoop the left leg out towards the left. If it doesn't go very far, don't worry about it. See what you feel in your standing thigh and butt, or even this floating leg. As it comes around, eventually to your forward fold. Whew, good. Now fold in. Breathe in, find your halfway lift. Take just a forward fold. So butt bones up and back, belly draws in, and then can we relax our upper body down, relaxing through the back of the neck. Stay for 2 breaths. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Keep your chair or your blocks nearby for the next round. Find your halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet to your high push-up. On your exhale, lower down, low push-up, no more than halfway. Upward facing dog. Downward dog. Now the right foot presses strong. Use an inhale to stretch the left toes high. Exhale to carry them through. Plant the foot between your hands. High lunge to come on up. Hips, chest face forward, arms reach up. Full breath in. Exhale, hips sink down. Breath in. Breath out, twist. Right arm forward, left arm open. So we're getting that tall, lifted twist first. So we feel that expansion in the chest, the heart. Exhale, bend into that front knee. Breathe. Stay here or hands together. Hook. I said stay here, but I guess what I meant is this is your one option, or this is your other option, hand to the floor. Top arm reaches up. Although it's yoga, you have all the options that you want, always. Bend into the front knee. Squeeze the back leg strong. Can you keep bending into the front knee as you rotate that top shoulder open? And where do you feel that stretch then? In your left thigh. Breathe. Left hand to the floor. Unhook your arms if they were hooked. If you had your elbow hooked. Lower the back foot flat. Bend both knees. Come on up. Warrior 2. Arms stretched to the front and back. Breath in lifts the heart. Breath out grounds into the feet. Feel what you feel. Now, back foot walks in a few inches. Straighten through the front leg. Exhale. Our hips shift so that we start to straighten out that spine over. So we kept our hips where they were, and then we reached forward. I guess it would happen a little, but really set your spine up well to reach that left arm forward. And then hand to a block on the outside or down to your shin or wherever feels appropriate. Top arm reaches up. Rotate that shoulder open. And breathe. And now how can we feel more into this pose? Think about maybe drawing the heart more forward, rotating that top shoulder open, pressing through that back pinky toe edge, and then rotating that right hip open, just like we did in the warm-up. Can you send your hip back so that you feel that lower back stretch? Breathe. Look down. Bend into the front knee. Grab both blocks. Start to walk the back foot up a bit and shift forward. I'm actually going to shift my foot back so that our chest is straight out in front like a halfway lift. Both hands right underneath the shoulders. And press strong through that left foot. The right toes now are going to start to lift up. Breathe. Micro bend in your standing leg. Heart forward. Now slow motion. Squeeze through the outer right thigh. Send it straight out to the side. Straight, straight, straight. It might hit the door. So hopefully you've got some room. Send it out to the side and around. Slow, 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 slow motion. Slow motion. Come back in forward fold. Amazing. Half lift. Fold to have a break. Bend your knees a little if you need. Relax through the back of the neck. Okay, high up on your blocks, the tall setting. If it's a little bit nerve-wracking, you can use a lower one, but if you feel you'll have okay balance, up on the tall setting. Feet hip width apart. Draw your heart forward. So when we set up half moon a while ago, we're going to practice this now. So our right hand comes wherever our half lift would be, and then move it a few inches out to the side. So if you can see here, I come straight forward, and then a little bit out to the side of where my arm traditionally would be. Left hand just for balance. Now heart pulls forward. Exhale, extend the left toes back. Rotate that hip open, and as you rotate that hip open, the left arm may start to lift up to the sky. Now, as we brought our leg around, remember when we were in this exercise, we're bringing our leg around, you're going to squeeze that same muscle, lift the outer thigh up as much as you can manage. Squeeze, 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 and breathe. Top hand either on your hip bone or up to the sky. 2 more breaths. Take one more really deep breath in. Exhale, hands back to the blocks. Now slow motion. Slowest motion you can imagine to really get into these butt and leg muscles. Rotate that hip down so our toes are going to face the earth. Now squeeze the outer left leg and bring it around, 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 around to the side. Once it lines up with your foot, slowest motion you can manage, bring it back in line. Forward fold. Shake out that standing leg if you need to. Find your halfway lift. Deep breath in, deep breath out. If you need more stability, remember you can always come down onto a lower setting, but really what we're going for with the blocks is just getting that chest forward and up. Now press strong through the left foot, hearts forward. Our left hand comes out in front, a little bit off to the side for support for half moon. Extend through the right toes back. Open up that hip. Squeeze the outer right thigh. Start to lift up. Heart lifts. Right arm lifts up to the sky. Whoop, almost fell over. Squeeze that right outer thigh. Imagine there's a string on the ankle pulling up, 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 up. Breathe. Stay where you are and breathe. Deepest breath you've got in you. Whoop. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, hands to the blocks. Now rotate that right foot down. Leg is in the air. Both hips are squared. Extend that right leg out, 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 out to the side, as far as you can go with furniture or doors around you, and slowly bring it in. Amazing. Shake out your legs if you need. Take a breath in and a breath out. Forward fold. So hands on the blocks if you need for forward fold. That's your stage one. You can keep a little bit of lift in your spine with hands on blocks for support. Stage two, grab onto your two big toes with your two first fingers of each hand. Find your halfway lift again, and then exhale, bending from the hips, fold down and relax. Breathe. 2 breaths. And then if you want the blocks for your half lift, now would be the time to come back to them. Otherwise, you're holding on to your big toes. And you can even do one at a time. To be honest, I don't know if I have the strength in me the second round. So I'm actually going to do one and one. Have one hand on a block, or you could even do the ground. That might be kind of far away. And then one hand on your big toe. Find a little bit of halfway lift in length. Now press strong through your right foot. So ideally, all of this weight is coming into the right standing leg, and this right hand is for a little bit extra support, so it's not super intense. Breathe in, find your halfway lift. Now, press strong through the right foot. Squeeze through the left toe, squeeze through the left thigh, and imagine that leg bone if it were to just kind of like, whoop, plug up into the leg socket. Holding onto the toes. Now exhale it straight out to the side. Doesn't have to go far, just go where you feel. And then notice how much pressure is in your right hand. Can you back off and put it into your left leg? And breathe. Can you breathe deep while you do this? Feel what you feel. Feel what you feel. Breathe. Feel what you feel and breathe. Extend that leg out. Whew. Whew, almost fell over. Oh, I did fall over. Oh, my shoulder's on fire too. Take one more breath in. And if you fall out, that's okay. Just come back. One more breath. Exhale, come back. Shake out your standing leg if you need. Oh my goodness. I just had a memory. We were supposed to do crow pose today. I think that we will actually, because this feels like a good counter stretch. Shake out your legs however you need. And then come on back. If you need a block, whatever you want to do to set up your left hand for extra support, find your half lift. Now, two first fingers around that toe, or if you have both blocks, you're just hovering that leg up and extending out. So you don't necessarily need to interlace your fingers around that toe. Find your halfway lift. Press strong through the left foot. Now squeeze your right toes. Hug that leg bone up into the socket and slowly extend it out to the side. Should feel it in both legs. I think I'm going to switch to both hands on blocks. Woo! I can feel it everywhere. Breathe. Dry your core and extend that leg straight out to the side. So we're not extending it back or anything. We're just in line with the ankle and straight out. 2 more breaths. One more deep breath in. Squeeze. Lift it up. Amazing. Set the foot down. Shake out a little bit. Find a deep breath in, half lift. Exhale, fold. Take your feet wide. Have a squat. You can sit on a block if you want more of a break. Woo. Or get rid of the blocks when you're ready and squat down. Breathe. Remember, you can even do this squat in front of a chair, like a heavy chair, like a recliner, or your couch or something to hang on to as you work to build up the strength and flexibility. Now with your elbows, you're going to press out a little, lift up through the heart. 2 breaths. Squeeze the belly in. Start to tap into that ujjayi breath we've practiced before. To energize a little bit through the through the body. I try to say bandhas and body at the same time. I'll do the bandhas video soon. Through the body to get a little bit of last strength for our last strong pose. Crow. Fingers spread wide. Lift the heart up. You're going to come back up a little bit towards your forward fold, just enough to tuck your knees into your upper arm bones. Now draw the heart forward, forward, forward. Remember, if your head down, you'll go down. Forward. See if from the core and the pelvis you can start to lift the hips up. Lift a toe, maybe lift the other toe, and breathe for 2 breaths. Just practicing lifting one toe up at a time if you need. And when you're ready, coming on down, forward fold, bend your knees, squeeze into your core, come all the way up to standing, stretch everything out. Take a full deep breath in. Breath out, hands just to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift. Keep the length, step back high, push up. Lower your knees, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward dog. And walking your feet forward. Having a seat. Let's do one bridge together. Feet plant. Go ahead and roll back. Arms by your side. Knees rock side to side. Press your feet down. And before we lose that momentum, my body's trying to shift me into Shavasana, I can tell. Before we lose that strength, capacity, let's do one more. Deep breaths. Press through your feet. Press through the upper arm bones and just lift your hips up. Walk your shoulders underneath a little. You can keep your upper arm bones pressing in or interlace your hands at the back of your mat. And now press strong through your feet. We'll lift the hips and then press the chest towards your chin. So we really come into that upper back bend then. Because our low back has a natural bend. You don't necessarily need to add to that a lot. This is more to get that bend in the upper back to strengthen all of the back muscles. Take a breath in. And breathe out. Come on down. And rock your knees side to side. And then into your chest. So if you're noticing, I magically got a sweater on. I solved the mystery. I had turned the camera on. It cut off again, but that time right in bridge pose, and I just found out while editing. So I'm back. Hello again to finish out our Shavasana. So from bridge pose, plant the left foot down, interlace your fingers, and hug your right knee into your chest. We're going to do a figure 4 hip stretch, which actually, now that it's been a few hours since I've practiced this class, flex your foot, hook it on the outside of or on the front of your thigh. Oh yeah, feels really good. So if you want to come back to this pose before bed or later on or tomorrow, it might feel really good to stretch your hip. And if you repeat this class, when we bring our leg straight out to the side like that, it's actually super healthy for your knees. So if you do ever have any knee issues or ankle issues with stability, it's a really great exercise to do. And what it does is it strengthens up your outer butt muscles and your outer leg so that the knee is in a healthier place. Anyway, so following our own intuition, if you want to stay centered and just stretch one area, go for it. If you need to rock side to side, do that as well. Whatever is best for you. When I originally filmed this, I think I had done the method where I found one sweet spot and stayed. But right now it feels good to shift side to side. So I'm going to do that. Breathe. It's interesting, we start to think of the hindsight effect of when we think something isn't in our favor, but really is it? So originally, just sitting at my computer, I felt a little bit of disappointment that the end of the video cut off. Well, partly because Kimba sat in my lap for Shavasana. It was super cute, and I like when she comes in and joins, but she's outside right now. So yeah, mostly I missed out on Kimba to show off, but also I was ready to go to the library and upload, and now I'm filming. But let's be honest, this feels amazing. So I'm really happy now to be back with you and doing this stretch again. Okay, so we're gonna do a twist. You have three options. The most advanced, and I use advanced lightly, but the deepest stretch, you can keep your legs as they are and just drop that foot to the side. Whew. When I was warmed up, that felt a lot easier. So that's a pretty intense stretch for me. I'm actually going to do the middle stage, which is where if you wanted to slide that leg all the way over, like eagle legs, and then opening up your right shoulder to the side either way. This is our stage 2. And then stage 1, the beginner, I shouldn't say beginner advanced. None of them are beginner advanced. They're different amounts of stretch. But the easier one will be both knees to the side. This version is much more gentle. I'm going to stick with this one. And still gets that hip and side body stretch and rotation for you. So wherever feels best for your body right now, go for. I know right after I was doing those exercises, I liked stage 2 and 3, but it feels good to just chill. 2 breaths. Finish the exhale. Draw into your core a little bit. The reason we do that, we start to get that corset action. So as we move our low back, stays protected. Feet on the ground and right foot presses. And left knee into your chest. Interlace your fingers and just give a slight compression, slight tug. Get a little hip stretch. Now flex the foot. Cross the ankle over your thigh and open up the knee wide for your figure 4. Stay here or draw that leg in. Interlace behind the thigh, or you can even grab onto your shin, whatever feels best. And then side to side, very gently. And remember, we're not just crazy rocking side to side. We're going slow enough that our mind is really occupied with where am I feeling sensations? How does it feel? Can I find a spot that is a little more sensational, has a lot more feeling and is tighter? Maybe you find a pocket of tension, and can you breathe out and stay relaxed as you do that? If you do find one of those sweet spots, then just stick with it and breathe. 3 more breaths. Finish your next breath out. And then stage 3 of our twist, we're going to keep our legs as they are. Slow motion, lower the left foot to plant on the ground. You can even walk your shoulders back a few inches and then open the left shoulder to get that twist. Stage 2, you're going to do eagle legs. So from figure 4, just slide that leg all the way over, fold down. Whew, that feels good. Stage 1, uncross, stay super relaxed and heavy. That feels best. So again, listening to your own intuition. And the more you listen to your body, the more you notice what you specifically need. the greater your intuition will strengthen. I don't know if that sentence was proper, but the stronger your intuition will get is what I meant. 2 more breaths just to feel and stay as relaxed and heavy as you can. Finish the breath. Coming back through center. Grab a blanket if you need. Extending your feet out to the corners of your mat, wider than your hip. Toes fall open for Shavasana. Oh yeah, another Shavasana. And then wiggling side to side, however you need to fully relax down. Checking that the back of your head, your neck, shoulders, all as relaxed as possible. Using a breath out to check on your palms, your forearms, so that they are the most relaxed they can be. A breath out to check on your lower back, your hips, thighs, and lower legs. Eventually, a breath out to relax even the muscles in your feet. Or if you can imagine what it would feel like to relax the muscles in your toes. Just bringing the attention to these parts of our body we don't normally pay attention to. So that we can feel more connected to ourselves, especially if we want to have good connections with our family or our partners or our kids. How can we expect a really open, honest connection if we aren't even really connected to ourselves? So this can start as simple as being aware of how you are feeling physically, building that connection from there. That connection with your breath, with your own present moment. So that's really what it is, right? We come into the present moment. And the more we can do that with ourselves and train that to be our normal, being in the present moment, then when we're connecting with someone else, we can easily or more easily be present with them. So taking about 10 breaths to just be super present with any feelings you have, however your breath pattern is, whatever physically is going on. About 3 more breaths. Really feeling into any sensations you notice before you start to move. So maybe if your palms feel tingly or your feet, soften a little more around the jaw, the shoulders. On a breath in, starting to bring back some movements. Coming up to a seat. You can pause on one side or carefully roll up, however feels best. And then butt bones ground down. Take a breath in to lift up through the heart, through the crown of the head. And breath out to ground right back down. Moment for yourself to notice, honor, and appreciate. And genuinely think of something that you can notice to honor and appreciate about yourself, even if it's showing up for this practice. Then we do the exact same for each other. That's why we say namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this practice. And third time's a charm. See if this recorded. I don't know next month's theme yet. We'll work on it this week, so it'll be a surprise. If there is anything in specific that you want to work on, no matter when you see this, write it in the comments, message me, get the message to me so that we can make some classes around what you specifically would like to work on. But thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next week.